You really want me to ask this one, Lisa, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, all right, here we go. You're going to do a paragraph here, and Ron and Kevin, I hope you can answer it. Quote, do you support amending our land use plan to allow the parcels of land located at the southeast corner of 4 Mile and North Green Bay Road, currently part of the BCN, to be designated for high-impact retail development, meaning a development of over 70,000 gross square feet or a site over 5 acres?
You want me to go again?
No. You get to finish it up this time.
What it is basically, George, is the Walmart question only, would you support something as big as Walmart? I'm assuming, that's what I'm hearing.
All right, in other words, this is bigger than what they're proposing, or?
No, this is, I guess what I'm assuming this question is that the parcel for Walmart, is it not?
The southeast corner of 4 Mile and North Green Bay Road.
So what- I guess
That's the
I'm-
proposed site that you were talking about?
I guess
Okay.
basically what they're asking, would you want to rezone it, no matter what the development was, if you want to development?
All right, okay, I got it here. Do you support amending our land use plan to allow the parcels of land at the southeast corner of 4 Mile and North Green Bay Road, currently part of the BCN, to be designated for high-impact retail development, or it's got to be rezoned, meaning a development of over 70,000 gross square feet, which I think is pretty big, and a site area of over 5 acres? Okay, so that's that question. Do you support that? First question, you, Ron, are you legally allowed to answer that question?
Well, basically, the committee that has been formed to the planning commission has already set up getting the citizens that were looking at that land at the village center, and we're looking at that, and we're drawing back the people that were on the original committee to let us know really what that land is scheduled for. So there's some confusion right now on how that land should be developed.
I understand that.
And then do I support it? I'm going through the committee, to let the committee decide on what's going on. That's what we're doing right now. To sit here and tell you, I'm going to do this, and if all of a sudden that committee comes up with a recommendation going the opposite way.
Wait a minute, it's not asking you whether you're going to do it. It's asking you whether you support changing the land use to allow...
I have to go to the committee and see if it can be changed. If the committee will decide, there's still issues right here, we don't know if it can be changed or not.
Okay, I understand that, but would you support changing it if they can?
I would have to look at it more in detail.
Okay, I think that's the basic question. Would you support the change? Not can you make a change, is it going to be able to be done, but would you support the change of that land use plan so that it is allowable? And maybe you might find out the lawyers say, no, you can't do it, but in the meantime, what do you think? Suppose they say they can do it, would you support it? Yeah, sure, it's up to you, Dave. Yeah, you're next. We're going to the
Sure, have an
jury.
empty seat.
Yeah.
As far as the land use plan is overall, I support following the land use plan, but I also see that as a tool that Caledonia uses to know what should or shouldn't be in that proximity or location throughout the whole village. It is a tool.
Let me interrupt you. Does that interpret you saying you wouldn't support changing it, or do you think it should stay the way it is?
Well, it is a tool, and I think anything is subject to change. And if it's doable, if it's legal, if it makes good sense for Caledonia, I would support changing the land use plan.
Okay.
But again, as long as it makes sense.
That's what you answered the question. Thank you very much. Kevin, over to you.
George, I can't answer that question. It's backdoor way for that parcel, and I won't touch that one. But I will say this. The land use plan needs adjustment in several areas. And probably in some areas that some people may not think that they do, but, and I do, and other board members may, or citizens or whoever may differ, or the committee, but there are land use plan adjustments that need to be made within the village land use plan.
But you don't think this is necessarily...
That, I can't stand it.
Is that because of the legal thing?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So, I mean, And I'm not trying to deduct anything here, but we've been on legal advice not to because of potential litigation.
That's fine, we have to respect that. All right. But Richard, you're not bound down by that. You got to answer it.
Well, I can answer it, but I guess without knowing what the impact's going to be for that neighborhood, it seems like right now that nobody has all the information to know what the impact's going to be, negative or positive. And so for me to say yay or nay presently, I think would not be fair in the process.
Do you have an opinion whether it would be negative or positive?
No, I don't.
No, okay, that's fine. We're done with it then, all right? We're done? We're done?
Yes.
Okay. Bob, just finish up with you.
All right, there's a couple things I'd like to talk about or address with the land use plan versus the comprehensive plan. First off, we have a very good land use plan. It may need to be tweaked from time to time, but overall, our land use plan is correct. If there's a problem with mapping with the comprehensive plan versus the land use plan, adjust the comprehensive plan and leave the land use plan alone because it's going to take care of itself. That plan was voted on by the board, and to me, it takes a board action to change that plan. The planning commission's job is to make a recommendation to the board on how this project goes, if it's a zoning issue, for example. There's so much criteria involved with changing the zoning of that area, the roads, the traffic, the architectural design. There's so many issues involved here. For you to say, I'm going to change it without having all that input and all that knowledge is not going to work. You got to step back and look at it. But overall, in my opinion, leave the land use plan alone, tweak it if you got to, but it supersedes the comprehensive plan.
Okay. Thank you much.